So let's start out in our finance area. Now, keep in mind that we have a finance area, a retail store, video wall, healthcare area. It's just a way for us to segment this demo and show them in practical use cases. But all these solutions I'm showing in all these spaces apply to any market vertical. Now, if you look to my left here, what I have is a digital version of a poster, right? Now, in any market vertical where you have a lot of content, a lot of information that's constantly changing that you want to get disseminated out there, lends itself well for a digital sign such as this. You can create any or all of your content, any updates, any corrections, you can do within our designer, which is part of our solution, right? And once you have your new content, you can push it out onto this digital media player down here, a solid state device, meaning no moving parts, not as susceptible to heat, and very reliable, right? It's also got an onboard 2 gig storage wherein you can have your content locally stored and also locally basically playing on this digital media player. Now, with this digital sign here, you can have a poster, a series of posters, you can have video, you can have different types of content within a playlist. You can schedule the playlist to play whenever you want to. Now, the digital media players down there, you can manage centrally through a browser. So from a browser, you can manage these DMPs, one or all of your DMPs. You can group them. You can group them by floor, by department, by location. And by doing so, you can pretty much play whatever you want to, whenever you want to. You can schedule what you play in the different DMP groups and pretty much localize the language, localize the content as well. Now, to my right, what you're seeing here is a telepresence 500 unit. So this is a single screen, single camera, 37-inch version of our telepresence system. This you would typically find within an office, right? It's turned off here for a reason, mainly because we're integrating this with our Cisco Physical Access Gateway, this box down here. Now this gateway, what it does is turns equipment on and off based on a trigger. Our trigger is this card reader. Now this can be whatever trigger that you need, right? And what I'm demonstrating here is from an energy management standpoint, wherein perhaps I'm badging in for the day. As soon as I badge in, it validates my badge. And after validating my badge, the gateway interacts with Cisco's EnergyWise. And through EnergyWise, it's turned on my telepresence unit here, provisioned my IP phone, turned on my light, as well as my desktop. And the other thing to note is that there's a web page of my information on this screen here, basically because it's taken my badge information, went into Cisco's database, and pulled up my information onto that screen. Just to demonstrate how an action such as this can actually invoke some application that's specific to your needs, right? And be able to take some action based on that very simple trigger. Now, as that web page goes away, we're now showing an integration level between telepresence and digital signage. So as we saw to my left, a very simple poster version of a sign. This here shows you the flexibility of our digital signage, wherein you can customize however many zones you play on a digital sign, and also what you play in each zone, right? So we have a zone here for your logo, one for your promotions, your text, your communications, another down here for inlaid video. Now this can be live video feed, or this can be a recorded video as well. Then down here we have a zone for things that are constantly changing. RSS feeds, stock quotes, interest rates, scores, what have you. So it keeps things very flexible for you. Now, with this digital sign, we're focused on content strategy around infotainment, meaning we're informing and entertaining our guests, our audience. And once they get entertained and engaged by our sign here, should they want to now connect with a live person on one of our promotions, being that this is a telepresence unit, they can simply push a button on the IP phone and be able to be connected with an expert on demand, as we're doing here, right? So what we're doing now is we're enhancing our customer level of experience, right? We're informing them, entertaining them, getting them engaged, and now that they want to connect with a live person are very easily and quickly able to do that. Plus, what we're doing as well is now we're scaling our experts, wherein we can have a handful of experts centrally located, managing and transacting with many customers remotely via telepresence. Now, to further capitalize on your investment here, in the event of an emergency, being that you have them all over your location, you can send alert signs onto them, alerting people and getting them to safety, such as this simple example here of a wayfinding emergency sign. It tells me there's danger in the area, shows me graphically where I am in the building, how I get myself to safety. Now, I can send this to one sign, a group of signs, all of my signs. And by the way, it doesn't have to be just for emergencies. It can be any communications I want to get out there, since I can pick and choose what to play, where I play it. So, of course, I can turn this back into a bank sign. Now, let's say I want to go ahead and record some corporate messaging, message of the day in high definition format. With a telepresence 500 unit such as this, I can invoke what we call CTRS, or Cisco Telepresence Recording Studio. So it gives me a one button to push. I can record my message of the day, some corporate communications, or perhaps in a setting such as this, wherein we can record feedback from our customers, from our audience, and get and basically create our own video library of feedback from our audience through this telepresence unit as a kiosk. Right? Now, with this telepresence unit in CTRS, it gives me basically a one button to push, so I can come up here and record. So recording from CTRS for today's demo. It also gives me buttons out here to be able to manipulate what I've recorded. I can play it back, I can review it, I can re-record it if I wanted to as well. Right. Recording from Cisco Telepresence Studio for this demo today. There's our recording there. If I'm happy with that, I can email it out from this IP phone. If I want to re-record that, I can certainly do that as well. Or if I choose to, I can just exit out of this interface on my IP phone, pull that same video up, again, just using a browser, right, connecting with our telepresence user portal, and basically downloading that same video onto my desktop, which I can pretty much do whatever I want to, email it out, stick it on my web page, or I can even integrate it with our Cisco Media Experience Engine and get it transcoded to different formats. Now, in this area here, we were showing this in a security type of application. But one thing to notice, you can also use this to personalize what's playing on this screen here. Perhaps you have a rewards card, a club card, a gambling card, or a hotel card, if you will. Present it at a kiosk, take that information, personalize what's playing on this screen here for that particular user. In fact, pull up promotions that's important to that particular member, right, based on their history with your organization. Pull up promotions that may be of interest to them, and should they now want to connect with a live person, are able to using our expert on demand. So with that, we're done with this space. I'm going to badge out now. And as I badge out, we're going to turn off all the equipment, right? So we no longer have to incur unnecessary expense of equipment being left on as people leave the space. There's a green aspect to that as well. And from a security standpoint, we can control what gets turned on and off based on people's access level.